Thanks for joining us for the second session here on the KNX Dialogue. Now, we're going to be talking about ETS6 with KNX Secure and KNX IoT, a perfect match. Now, as the sole tool for commissioning KNX projects, the usability of ETS is crucial for KNX professionals. This session is going to explore the new possibilities that users have today with KNX Secure, new KNX security proxies, and KNX IoT and ETS6. Now, we're going to discover some new possibilities, best practices for achieving optimal outcomes, and we hope in this session to share some firsthand information about KNX ETS6 and offer a platform to address your specific, questions. I have with me today Michael Critchfield, who is the ETS product manager at the KNX Association. Welcome, Michael. And our special guest is Torben Lederman, who is a YouTube influencer, well-known in Germany, but also a systems integrator in his own right. That's how he got into being such an important influencer. And the two gentlemen, Michael, Torben, welcome, and let's get in and start talking about KNX Secure and KNX IoT, the perfect match. Michael, Torben, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate you being here and talking about ETS6. Now, let's, for the beginning, why don't we focus on trying to figure out what is the most important thing we should do to introduce the ETS6 to the audience today. How do we start? Where do we go here?
Torben, what do you think? What should we go?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the invitation. Probably it would be great to start with the new features that were recently added in the ETS6, the security proxy. Maybe, Michael, you can tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, with pleasure. We, as the KNX Association, we always throw these highly technical terms around us, right? The security proxy. What does that even mean? I think it's important to remember this is just a feature inside a device. Cybersecurity is very important, becoming more important every day, right? So we see our members promoting KNX Secure, new devices coming to the market every day. So, of course, also now the security proxy is there. And Torben, you ask, what is that even? Right? You could, so KNX could always be extended, right? You have a KNX installation, you can extend that, but historically, these devices communicate plain to one another. So there's no encryption, there's no security there. And then a few years ago, KNX Secure was invented, and now we see more and more devices coming there. And you can always add KNX Secure devices to your installation, and they communicate secure to other KNX Secure devices. But there were no interaction between secure and plain, because the group address was either secured or it was not. And now with the security proxy, you can have both. You put this. You have a line coupler somewhere, and this line coupler has the functionality security proxy. And what that means is underneath the security proxy, the group address can be secured, and above it, so maybe in the rest of your installation, it can be plain. And of course, maybe Torben, I don't have to remind you, that opens a lot of doors, right? That opens a lot of possibilities.
Absolutely. I think when... at the moment, the problem is always you have in a lot of KNX installations, you have a mixture of unsecure devices and secure devices. And until now, you didn't really have the chance to say, okay, this part of the installation is in a secure state and the other part isn't. I mean, the only possibility was to make sure that you use, for example, on KNX IP, you use secure routers. This was one way to secure at least the IP part. But now with the secure proxies, like you mentioned, you have the possibility to also have parts of your twisted pair installation in a secure state.
I read some research that said the number one, desire for the consumers is security. It's absolutely at the top of their list.
Indeed. Yeah. And ever more so, right? Every day you see more news about the importance of cybersecurity, right? And it's important to note KNX is there, has been there right from the start. But of course, integrating these parts, right, into existing installations, right? That was the challenge. And with the new security proxy and the first devices coming and being on the market now that support this feature, that's really when KNX Secure makes click, right? And you can add it to your existing installations.
Yeah, like we talked about KNX IoT in the last dialogue series, we talked about it that it feels like just simple KNX, nothing to take a it's not that complicated because it just feels like you normally program a KNX installation. And last week on Friday we took a look at the KNX security proxies. You showed me it, and I have to say it really feels like simply using line couplers, and you have one segment secure and one segment unsecure. So for me as a system integrator, it's pretty easy to use.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. And then, of course, the association, they developed IoT, KNX IoT, and so this became secure from the default, right? There's no way around it. And so, of course, the first KNX IoT devices coming to the market, they will be secure. And where do we see them being added to installations? Well, first of all, I believe to existing installations. Right? So it will be important that we have this security proxy also there, because you add new IoT devices to your existing installations and you want them to be communicating with one another. And so that'll be an exciting time.
A very exciting time, because one of the, as an editor in the business, one of the things that's, quite, reportable about IoT is the security issues, and the fact that so many devices have been left insecure, and the problems of it are tremendous. So the fact that you start out of the box having the IoT secure is extremely helpful.
Yeah. And with these great new device types, you can integrate that to your existing stuff, right? And I think this will help a lot with the adoption of IoT. I think, Torben, last week we spoke about a garden line, right? You extend your installations towards the outside areas. And there you really want to be secure. Makes sense.
Yeah, not only there, but also when I think about public buildings where you have an area which is publicly available, there also it's quite handy to with the security proxies to simply have the possibility that you just need to take a look that you have secure sensors, then you have the secure proxy into the distribution cabinet, and there the actuators may be secure, but they don't need to be secure. And in the public area, you made sure that everything is fine and secured.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah. So you can Google already. Yeah, you can Google already for KNX security proxy. There's an abundance of information on the web, great articles. And this month we celebrate 34 years of KNX, right?
And the ETS6, that commissions this, the role that it plays in that, maybe you can elaborate on that.
Yeah, ETS6 handles this just like any other device, right? So it's part of your topology, part of your installation. And the good thing about ETS6 is it takes away a lot of the ambiguity where you have some parts of your project secure, some plain. ETX makes this transparent, but it takes away a lot of the tasks for the user because ETS handles it. It creates filter tables, everything automatically in the background. So peace of mind for the installer, but high security in the end.
Well, we titled this session KNX Secure and KNX IoT, a perfect match, but really what it boils down to is a perfect secure match.
Indeed.
So that's good. But Torben, just in conclusion here, as we bring this together, for underlining a couple points for the audience, the points that you'd like them to understand about KNX Secure and KNX IoT.
Well, it can be simply said that it's really not that difficult to integrate KNX Secure or KNX IoT because the process of using it within the EDS, yeah, it stays the same. No matter if you integrate a KNX twisted pair device or you integrate a KNX IoT device or a secure device, the process of handling it, of commissioning it, yeah, simply stays the same. And that is something which I think is really important for me as an integrator.
Michael, as ETS product manager, this is your opportunity to sum up, what advantages you feel that KNX Secure and KNX IoT come together for.
Well, I think I said this in our last dialogue. It's another tool in your toolbox, right? And Torben said it very nicely. Nothing changes in terms of the workflow. So yeah, you can still rely on your training that you received and the knowledge you have about KNX. So with this great new choice of devices, this new plethora of options, IoT and secure, it goes very well together. And ETS6 takes care of it for you. That's important. So the additional security comes without any more burdens, right? So you have the benefits without any problems with it. That's important to note, I think.
Here we have it, the ETS6 with the product manager. And Torben, thank you so much for joining us and for bringing your real world expertise as a system integrator and as a well-known YouTube influencer as well, I should say. So thank you for joining us today.